welcome.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure to have a footballer of your credentials with us today. I don't think I'm over-egging it when I say one of the iconic players of our time. And watching that video, laying out your glittering career before you, how do you feel when you see that? I'm just reminded of a quote by a man that you know quite well, Arsene Wenger, who described you as the greatest striker ever, the Michael Jordan of football.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Humble.
That's a big one. Did he say I was a pain in the neck also in the quote? No, he didn't. But no, first and foremost, hi everyone, sorry. But when I look at this is, nothing is impossible, that's what I think of. But nothing is impossible, obviously, because you have a group around you that makes it possible for you. That's what I think of. At the beginning of my career, you tend to think about the I in the process because you need to make your way in a group sometime that was already formed, and you need to have an impact. And to try to find out who you can be and what player you can be. And then at the end of the career and throughout the career, you start to understand that without your mates, you're no one. So when I look at this, although the pictures and they were my goals and stuff like that, but it reminds me of the whole process of it and how you can achieve stuff when everyone kind of trusts each other. And there's something that's not, it's almost kind of a thing that people do not do anymore, especially in a group. Being honest with each other it's very key. Having arguments also is very key. It's healthy as long as it is for the cause of the group, which means winning and getting trophies. So that's what I think of when I see that.
It's interesting. I've seen interviews with you before where you've said if a player scores a goal for their team, but the team doesn't go on to win, those goals should be discounted.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So point?
It's nothing about personal success.
Well, it's something that you can share when you're done. I kind of bother my kids with that now, with the goals that I used to score and stuff like that. But I think for me, one of the most important things is, did it matter in the game? Did it matter in the game? Sorry, that's what you're there for. You're there to score goals and win the game. I wasn't interested at the end of the game of if we lost a game and I was going to say, at least, I scored 2. No, I scored 2. They need to mean something in the game. And if it didn't mean anything, then even when, in all fairness, I did score goals and we won, I wasn't always happy. Or shall I say satisfied. But yes, it's discounted. I went a bit too far, but it's an image that I always say that, and you scored 2, you lost 4-2. What's the big deal out of that?
Incredible.
Might sound harsh, sorry, but keep you on your toes.
You're clearly a perfectionist then.
Well, I think, I don't know if everyone is, but I say that you showed something yesterday, that doesn't mean it's going to be the same on the day after. And so I always see it as it's a new race the day after. We're all on the same starting point. Let's see who's going to win that race again today. So I don't live in the past. Although you need the past to be present in the future, that's what I always say. But the present is actually the moment that we're living right now. So I was trying to live at that particular moment. And the only time you can go back and start to think about what you've done is when it's done. Now I can. That's what I said to you. I bother my kids with it. But at the time that you're active, you need to think about what's coming next.
So let's just take it back then to when you were a young child. Did you? As I understand it, you used to play in your cousin's bedroom with a tennis ball,
yes,
kicking the tennis ball around the bedroom when you were just 5, 6 years old. Did you ever envisage at that point Champions League winner, World Cup winner, European Championship winner, 5th on the all-time Premier League scoring list?
No.
Did you dream big?
You know what I was thinking at that particular moment? That we're going to be in trouble if my mom walks in or my auntie. That's the only thing I was thinking of. And we thought we were clever. We're smashing the ball against walls. And when they walk in, we're like, they heard us. But you think you're that clever when you're young. No, I didn't think about that. I never put myself in this type of situation. I always said to myself, the rest will take care of itself. Work hard, try to add tools in your game, and whatever happens will happen. But you need to be that guy that's going to put something on the table for the coach to work with, you know, and be, like I said before, that pain in the neck in a good way to challenge your coach, because that's what you're supposed to do also, you know, cause him trouble in a good way, by the way. But I never thought I was going to do what I did, and I think it's good also, because you need to leave something, you know, up in the air sometimes. You can't always guess what's going to happen. It might have been a dream. I must have said it sometimes with my friend, oh, I'm scoring the last goal of the game, but a lot of people said that and it didn't happen for them. So, but what I wanted to do is to be prepared to be able to perform, and like I said, and I used to say, the rest will take care of itself.
So you mentioned there giving the coach something to work with. Now, one of the greatest coaches you've obviously ever worked with, Arsene Wenger, who you've described as a father figure.
Yes.
How much do you think your success is not down to him, but was nurtured by him and allowed you to realize your potential?
The boss, Arsene Wenger.
You still call him the boss?
Or anyone that I had as a boss, I call them boss. It's difficult for me to break that barrier. That will be the same way until I die. But that's only me. But the boss had an impact on me mentally. So he unlocked some doors that were locked for me, and showed me the way and made me understand the player that I could be. But then after, he gave you that freedom to be the player that you could be, but you have to embrace it, and grab it. Very important. And to an extent, I thought that I did that in a way, but he had that amazing way of talking his way out of the box, you know, and it's well documented. I used to go in his office upset for whatever reason. I don't receive the ball in the right time, or why we're not playing like this or like that. And I remember going in his office. I'm going to tell him this, I'm going to tell him that, and I used to leave his office. I didn't tell him anything. And he told me what he wanted to tell me, and I closed the door. I'm like, hang on a minute. And I used to leave the room with a smile, not worrying about what I worried before, and being happy with what's coming next. He had that impact on people where I think at one point a boss also, people always talk about what's happening on the field, but a boss needs to have also the quality to get you mentally and unlock that and trigger your brain. It's very important, because you have a lot of coaches. I can tell you, I can make you stronger, I can make you, you know, bigger, might work on your work tactically, but not a lot of coaches can say, I'm gonna make you smarter. I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna use your brain on the field the right way. And he was one of those coaches.
Did he help you off the field as well, do you feel?
Yeah, big
How
time.
So?
We used to talk about anything and everything, and just him, his calmness. I mean, I don't know if you guys, a lot of people know him. I'm sure you must have seen him as a way to talk to you, to calm you down and tell you the right thing. Don't ask yourself the wrong question. That's also something that helped me a lot in the game. I used to try to put the fault on others before when I was a player, and I started to think, how can I move and help those guys in function of how they play? You know, instead of them adapting to me, I had to adapt my game to them. So that's why he was always saying to me, and that helped me a lot, ask yourself the right question. Can that guy see you? In my mind, he could, but technically maybe not in a way that I wanted to, so you have to make a run where that guy particularly can see you, and the other one make a different, because he can see you a different way. And you start to play in function of who you are, who you have around, and that's down to him. Again, he unlocked that door that I started to start to play with. That guy, I'm going to move like this. These guys, I need to drop because his head is never up. Whatever it was in my mind, I started to understand the movement I needed to make in function of who had the ball.
You described yourself as a pain in the neck, and I know that when you were a player and you did interviews, you had a question that you didn't like, you would tell the journalist. Understandable. If a colleague on the pitch did something that you didn't like, you would have the confidence to tell them. Did that come from Arsene Wenger as well, or is that something that's always been within you? Have you always been quite a resolute character?
I understood early in my career that we're here for the cause. We're not here to be friends or go out or whatever it was or be nice. We're here to win. That's one of the most important things, and you need to do anything in order, because it's like if I see you and you're about to do something, and I was, by the way, expecting the same for me. I wanted you to tell me if I'm not I wasn't being all right on the day or not putting 100% in the game, because that would have woke me up, and you need that at times. And so that's how I was. But it was always for the good of the game and for the team. So I was always saying what I had to say, and at times it's not always nice, because, as you can imagine, on the field you can't really be eloquent all the time and use nice words. Sometimes they're not that great, and the emotion that goes through your body doesn't come out well in what you want to say and how you say it and how you should say it. But you can't put any sugar on it or make it better than what it was. And so, yeah, I was very much in people's faces, in my own face also. I expected a lot from myself and a lot from my teammates, and they expected the same from me. That is why I did find myself in teams where we more often than not ended up winning something at the end of the season, because we had that all together within the dressing room.
Yeah, you won a fair few things, didn't you?
With the team, yes, it's very important. Like I said to you, you need to have guys around that gonna understand what you're all about, understand your brain, understand that sometimes you might lose it, but it's for the good of the team. And the guys that I played with understood that, and like I said to you, I understood them too.
Thierry, who are some of the greatest players you played with? Oof. Dennis Bergkamp has to be one, doesn't he?
Well, I can name a lot, because I had the opportunity to play with a lot of great players, and Lionel Messi, Ronaldinho, Xavi, Iniesta, Zidane. But I played with some guys that I will not even qualify as human in terms of, we're talking football, obviously, with all due respect, we're talking football, because Lionel Messi is not human for me. What he does is not normal, really not normal. I don't know if you guys are realizing what the guy is doing, but this is not normal what he's doing. And Zizou the same, Zizou, sorry, and the other guys. But when we go back to the normal people, human beings, Dennis Bergkamp is the best player that I played with. Why? Because of guys. What you didn't see is commitment every day in training, and his desire. When he was a great Dennis Bergkamp, he could have taken it easy sometime in training, and nothing was easy with Dennis. If he had to make a pass there, he was making that pass there. If he had to control left, pass right, 100 times, he was doing that 100 times, and he was always doing what the game was asking him to do when he can do something else. Play simple, that's one of the most difficult things, and great players do that. They stay simple when sometimes you might showboat or whatever. No, they stay simple, and Dennis had that in him, the way he was training. Also, he's the player that I played the longest with. But understand, then you have the freaks up there, but human beings, Dennis Bergkamp, yeah.
And now you're on the other side, I guess. You're working alongside the media as a pundit. How much attention did you pay to pundits if they had criticised you or made a comment about you? And do you now get in trouble for criticising players that perhaps you know and might actually be friends with?
When I was a player, I tend to, when stuff were outside of the game and it was a bit personal, I used to go talk about the game. You don't have to be go to the other side. And I think you have to understand that sometimes you're not playing well, or you did a mistake. It's when outside of the game and people were taking it on a personal point of view. I used to just settle it out with the person. Usually, I used to have that. Like I said, when I have something to say, I say it to someone. Now on another side, it's kind of difficult because, for example, I look at the shirt there on the screen. Whenever I talk about Arsenal, whenever I just say something, it goes everywhere. It is where it is. They play well. I'm saying they're playing well. I hear it's biased because he's an Arsenal fan. When they don't play well, I dare you saying that about Arsenal. What shall I say? It's difficult. You have to call ultimately what you see in the game and try to call the game out. I try to stay in the game and what happened in the game and not what's happening outside of the game. It's not an easy one because some of the guys that I played against, some of the guys that I played with still, a lot actually. But you have to call what you see. And it's not that easy. I will be honest, especially when it comes down to Arsenal for me. And even more so, especially because I had to talk about my old boss. Not a lot of people are pundits and they have to talk about their old boss. It's not an easy one, but I had to do it. I'm doing it, and it is what it is. But I'm enjoying it.
I think everyone can join me in thanking Thierry Henry. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.